You know counseling really sucks. Why do I need anger management? Hell, I only did what any normal guy would do. I mean, things could have been a lot worse. Of course, several people suffered, but they deserved it. Because of them, my life was out of control, and now theirs too. So what's the problem? My name is Hank Wilson, and I have anger problems. This group counseling was a court requirement. I am 35 years old. I am married. At the moment, I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and I love them to death. Jeff, the assigned group consultant, asked me, "Why did the court make you come here today, Hank?" Well, Jeff, it's a long story. Well, Hank, we're all here for 3 more hours. Your story will take as long as you need, Jeff said. I cleared my throat and began to tell my story. I won't go into detail about how I met my wife, but I will tell you that her name is Amanda, and at one time I thought she was the sexiest woman in the world. It all started because I went to a bachelor party. My brother was getting married, and we sent him off with a bang. We invited strippers. After all, it was my little brother. I told Amanda every little detail of it. I didn't want anything to come back to me. The party was amazing. It started around 3 p.m. on Saturday and ended on Sunday at 7:00 p.m. It only ended when the police came into the room because of the noise. I spoke to Amanda at least 12 times during the party. My brother got married and they went on their honeymoon. About 3 months passed after the party and life was back to normal, or so I thought. I came home from work, went to the bathroom, and took a long shower. I am a fisherman by profession and enjoy working on the docks. We hang out, talk shit, and work. I was just getting out of the shower, and everything around me went dark. Looks like a truck hit me, but how the hell did it get into my bathroom? I tried to get up, but for some reason I couldn't move. I looked around and everything was blurry. All I could see were 2 figures in front of me. When my eyes focused, my wife and her sister stood in front of me. "So, you cheated on me?" Amanda said. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I tried to get up and finally noticed that I was taped to a chair. And when I say duct taped, I mean it was wrapped around my ankles at least 20 times. I couldn't move an inch. "Let me go right now, damn it." "I'll do it after I'm done with you, you bastard," Amanda said. Get even. What the hell was she talking about? I did not do anything. My brother and I made sure that we did not violate any of the established rules. They both left, and I must have sat there for an hour before they came back. Amanda walked in, followed by 5 guys from the bachelor party. I looked up and told them to release me. Mark has always been one of my oldest friends. I've known him for over 20 years. He was my best man, and I named my son after him. His wife was the only woman in the world, other than my wife, whom I truly trusted. Mark leaned over, looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Hank, you shouldn't have cheated on Amanda." And before I could answer, Amanda shoved a ball gag into my mouth. That bastard knew I never cheated on Amanda. Needless to say, they had sex for 3 hours straight. When they finished, she went to shower and left me alone with 5 of my former friends. Mark said, "Unfortunately, we didn't get it on tape." I just sat there, not moving, until one of the other guys took out the ball gag. I clenched my jaw and just looked at them. Mark came up and said, "I always wanted her. I just couldn't miss this chance. I know we won't be friends anymore after this, but I just had to do it." I didn't say anything, just looked at him and smiled. Mark said, "Hank, let it go, because if you don't, somebody's going to get hurt." Then he hit me in the face with something, and I woke up about a couple of hours later in the hospital. I looked back and saw Amanda sitting in a chair. She must have dozed off, so I got the nurse's attention. "Could you call the police for me, please?" The nurse was about to ask why when I showed her my wrists. She said she would be right back. She came back about 5 minutes later and said the police would arrive. When the police got there, Amanda finally woke up. She asked what was going on. I said, "My name is Hank Wilson. About 7 hours ago, my wife ordered several men to tie me up and have a gangbang in front of me because I cheated on her. The only problem, other than it proving who she really is that I have never cheated. I can give you the name of every person there. I know for a fact that 2 of these guys are cops. So if you're not going to do your job, leave now. And when I leave, I can go to the state's attorney's office." The officer said, "Sir, just tell us what happened." I told him everything about the party and the gangbang. Amanda just sat there and listened with her mouth open. I told the officer that the party was recorded so that neither husband would get into trouble. The officer approached Amanda and asked her to stand. "Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent." She was charged with assault and kidnapping. I told them the names of every guy who was with her. I thought to myself that it was time to get hurt. I was hurt. Now it's time to hurt everyone involved. As Amanda was being taken out, she looked back and told me that this was not the end. "You're a lying Hank, and I'll make you pay." The officer told her she was also charged with menacing. I spent a week in the hospital and made a plan to relieve the pain. I had quite a lot of thoughts that needed to be organized. A lot of people could get hurt, so I have to make sure I really want to get even. So I made a list. 1, they put me in the hospital. 2, they lied to me and put me in hospital. 3, they had sex with my wife and put me in the hospital. 4, my wife is a cheater and helped them put me in the hospital. Well, that's the whole list. I'll get even if it kills me. It will be what I planned. I spent the next week in the hospital making plans. I left the hospital and went to the bank. I withdrew money, and while I was there, the cashier informed me that my wife was trying to withdraw money. She got angry when she found out that her name was not on any of my accounts. She then returned with her lawyer and was told that even with the lawyer, her name was not on any of the accounts. They left in a rage. I went straight to my brother and asked if he knew a good lawyer. He got angry at me and asked how I could arrest our friends. As I turned to leave, he ran out and stopped me. "Hank, what the hell is going on?" Over the next hour, I told him and his wife everything that had happened. They sat there with their eyes bulging and their mouths wide open. When I finished, his wife looked at me and called me a liar. My brother told her that I never lie and she should stay away from it. She told him he didn't know shit and to shut his fucking mouth. He asked her what the hell was wrong with her. If she was on this cheating cheater's side, then she can get the hell out. This is my brother, you idiot. She looked at him, got up and left. She went to their bedroom, grabbed her purse and told him she was leaving. My brother looked her in the eye and told her to let him clear something up for her. "If you get involved in this and don't side with my brother, then let me know. We can annul this marriage, because you are either with us or you are not." She looked at him and walked out the door. We heard the car start, the door opened, and she walked in, dropping her to the floor. "Yours wedding ring." My brother said, "Let it be so." Then she turned and left. The first thing we both did was go to a lawyer. We put my plan into action. Friday started with a bang. At 9 a.m., my realtor put up a for sale sign in my front yard, just as Amanda was leaving for work. Amanda jumped out of the car and asked, "What the hell are you doing?" The realtor showed her that the owner was putting the house up for sale. Amanda screamed, "He couldn't do this." "Of course he can. This is his home." At work, Amanda's boss came in with a young guy and said he was looking for her. The guy asked if she was Amanda Wilson. Amanda said, "Yes, I'm Amanda Wilson." He handed her a large brown envelope and said, "You have been served." Later that day, I received at least 50 phone calls. 5 wives asked what the hell was going on, and I told each of them the whole story. I didn't miss anything. I received at least 30 death threats, all of which I wrote down. While they were ranting, I laughed my head off, which seemed to make them even angrier. What I will never understand is when you have sex with some guy's wife and I beat him, why don't you think he's going to get even? The next day, my lawyer delivered 5 sets of civil claims. I asked for $5 million apiece. I sued Amanda for personal injury and theft of private property. My brother just puffed along with me and had a few run-ins with our so-called friends and family. The day of his trial on assault charges was approaching. My brother's wife wanted to talk, but she made her choice, and so did he. As I was leaving work the day before the trial, Mark came out from behind his car and tried to attack me. I pulled out my .38 and shot him in the groin, by mistake, of course. When the police got there, he was screaming that I was trying to kill him. I told the cops what happened. and if they don't believe me, they can look at the security footage. Mark began to look around and saw that there were cameras installed everywhere. The officer returned with surveillance footage and asked to see my permit to carry a weapon. I pulled it out and showed it to him. The officer said I could go. The trial was a failure. The bachelor party tape not only showed that I had never cheated, it also showed that I was calling Amanda every few hours. Mark and Amanda decided to go to trial together. She was just confident that they would be released clean and unharmed. The judge asked Amanda who told her I cheated, and she said, Mark. Mark's lawyer said that was a lie. He said Amanda was a cheater and always wanted sex with Mark. Amanda sat in the dock with her mouth open. Her lawyer shouted, I object, and asked for a break. Amanda's lawyer came up to me and asked me to talk to him for a minute. Hank, I know you hate her now, but can you just let her go up in flames? Why should I help her? They tied me up and put me in the hospital, and you want me to help her? Fuck it. I could have died, so let her fry, I said as I walked away. Amanda asked if she could talk to me for a second. Hank, I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. I was just so angry. I never thought that he could set me up. Come on, Hank, you know I have a bad temper. Hank, I know you still love me. Somewhere deep down you love me. So please put your pride aside and please help me. Amanda, you hurt me. I mean, you really hurt me. But I'm still going to go against my better judgment and ask the DA to go easy on you, I said, walking away to chat with the DA. I smiled, walked up to the district attorney and leaned close to his ear. Fry this bitch, please. I looked at her and gave her a thumbs up. I helped her the same way she helped me when I was tied up and beaten, and now you need my help. Amanda was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Mark was sentenced to 25 years in prison. When the other guys found out about the prison terms, they all wanted to make deals. Mark's wife, Karen, came up to me after he was sentenced. Hank, I know he hurt you and destroyed your marriage, but did you have to do this to us? Karen, I know how much it hurts you, but they tied me up. Your husband hit me so hard that I had to stay in the hospital for a week. They and Amanda left me sitting there, bleeding. I did what needed to be done. I wanted to kill them all. At least you have something to look forward to. Someday he will come out and you and he can move on. But I lost my wife, my friends, and some of my family. So who suffered more? I turned and walked away. You might think that's where the story ends, but it doesn't. This is why I take anger management classes. While Mark sat waiting to be sent to state prison to serve his sentence, I was arrested for driving under the influence. While serving my 10 days, I kicked his ass as many times as I could. I punched him in the face while we were in the break room. I hit him with a metal tray. I went before the judge, who fined me $50 and forced me to serve additional time. Later, I managed to get even with all these bastards. 2 of them were attacked during a bar fight. While the cops were en route, someone happened to have a stun gun. They both got over 1,000 volts on the nuts. The last 2 were beaten by 4 masked guys. It's funny, but at this time I was in Texas visiting my cousin. So now I'm sitting here talking shit to you guys because the judge thinks I have anger problems. They all sat there for a minute and then started clapping. I couldn't understand what was happening. Jeff stood up and said, Hank, you need to learn to go with the flow and not retaliate. Then he looked at me and shook my hand. Hank, you don't have to worry about losing money in a divorce. Mark and the others are in prison. What more could you ask for? Said Jeff. Not a damn thing, I said. Not one damn thing. During further discussion, I learned that these idiots still got off easy. They had all served at least 5 years, and as part of their parole, they were required to come to this class for anger management classes. I assumed that the judge tried to explain something to me by sending me to these classes. My brother's wife has returned home and is doing everything to make him forgive her. Amanda was her best friend, so I told my brother to at least try. Karen's divorce from Mark was now final. Amanda writes to me every week asking me to come and talk to her. She knows she was wrong. She was just so angry. She even went to a group to talk about her problems. I know what it's like. How am I feeling now? I hum. Damn good. I'm sure I'll be fine, I'm heartless and a bastard and everything. But at the end of the day, this is my story. I don't think all cheaters should be burned alive, but I also don't think you should sit around and be a wuss. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.